Hey.
So where are you from originally?
Around here.
In the Valley?
Well, Hollywood mainly.
And what did your parents do?
Well, my father worked in television, but my mother, this is gonna sound so silly. She was a librarian.
Why would that sound silly?
Well, I guess it doesn't.
Okay, and does your mother still work?
She's retired.
Are you close?
Well, yeah, she's my mother.
And what does she say about Seduce and Destroy?
She tells me to go get him, honey.
And your father?
He's passed away.
I'm sorry,
People die every day.
I wouldn't have asked if...
It's fine. It's not a problem.
Okay, and so you ended up at UC Berkeley?
I did, from 84 to 89.
Psychology major?
That's right.
And do you have your master's?
I was this close.
In 5 years? Wait, so I thought that you grew up here in the Valley.
Well, I did, like I was saying.
And you went to Van Nuys High?
That's right. I was enrolled, but I don't know necessarily how much I went. See, I was such a loser back then. I was pathetic and misguided. And look, I was really fat. I wasn't anything close to the Frank TJ Mackey that I am today. And I was swimming in what was instead of what I wanted.
And where does that name come from?
My name?
It's not your given name.
That's right. It's from my mother. It's a good question. You've done your research.
And Frank?
That was my mother's father.
Okay, that makes sense. I had trouble locating your academic papers from Berkeley and UCLA. With your name change.
Yeah, no. Of course not. They wouldn't have them. No.
They wouldn't?
No. You see, I was never officially enrolled. Was that unclear?
Kind of.
Look, I wouldn't want that to be misunderstood. My enrollment was completely unofficial because I couldn't afford tuition to go there. You see, I was completely financially independent at that time, and like I said earlier, one sad sack of shit. Look, what we're looking at is a true underdog and rags to riches story, and I think that's what most people respond to and seduce. Look, at the end of the day, it may not be about how many girls you pick up or how many of them you put your cock into. It's finding out who you are in this world and defining it and controlling it and saying, I will take what is mine. At the end of the day, it just so happens that you get a blowjob out of it. So why the fuck not?
Okay. Let's talk more about...
Look, I just realized that this is for television. I can't be cursing up and down like I just did.
It's fine.
I was telling you, whenever I get on a roll, I can't stop myself.
We'll just bleep it out. Let's talk more about your background. It's your past that confuses me.
Is that still lingering?
If I just want to clarify some...
It's just so useless and so boring.
If we could just clarify...
This is an important element of Seduce and Destroy. I tell all of my guys that living in the past prevents your future.
This isn't meant to...
You know, and they need to ask, what is this innate of?
Are you asking me that?
Yes.
What we're trying to do is figure out who you are and how you might have become...
Innate of what?
Like I was saying, Frank, we're trying to figure out who you are and...
The most useless thing in the world is what is wished behind me. Chapter 3.
Earlier, we talked about your mother and your father and his death, and I am not trying to sound challenging or defeatist here, but I have to ask, and if I could just... I'm trying to understand.
I'm not sure I hear a question in there.
Okay, do you remember a Miss Sims?
I know a lot of women, and I'm sure she remembers me.
She does. From when you were a boy?
Mm-hmm.
She's from Tarzana?
The old stomping grounds. Is this part of the interview where the girl's going in for the kill?
No, this is about you clarifying an answer to an earlier question.
Go ahead and waste your time.
I was told that your mother died.
That's what you've heard?
I talked with Miss Sims. She was your neighbor and caretaker for when your mother passed away in 1980. Frank? Trying to figure out who you
Frank,
are,
want
to clarify
why
your mother,
you
are. Sure if I
and
get
your father,
questions.
and
Family history
death.
accurate?
Do you remember a
And
Miss
I'm not
Sims?
trying to be
challenging
Frank,
or
Frank,
No,
Do you remember
Frank.
Miss Sims? But I have
She
to
does.
ask.
From when you were a boy.
Answer to
She does.
your question.
From when you were a
Not
boy.
sure if I hear a question.
She's from Tarzana.
She's from
Do you remember
Tarzana.
Miss Sims?
Tarzana.
Frank,
Tarzana.
Tarzana.
Tarzana. Tarzana.
Frank. Frank, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm quietly judging you.
Anything? Can you tell me anything?
Time's up. Thank you for the interview.
You wasted my time is what you did.
I wasted your time? You requested my time. And in return, you called me a liar and made accusations and said, well, if I wouldn't have known, then I wouldn't have asked. Whatever. I gave you my time, so fuck you, bitch.
You're gonna hurt a lot of people, Frank.
Fuck you.